Hi, folks. I'm using this screencast to illustrate one of the activities that I use in my classroom and that I feel is really effective, and teachers from all different disciplines really enjoy using this. And what this is called is an anticipation guide. And the way this works is we want students to think about what they know before they start a lesson and if their thoughts change afterward. And this could be based on reading, it could be based on a lecture in class, and it really is developed around something called schema theory, which is that when students activate their prior knowledge and they learn from their mistakes, they tend to increase their comprehension. So the way an anticipation guide works is you start with a statement on the left, and I'll show you an example in a moment. And the statement could be controversial. It could be something that there is evidence about. And what you have students do is you might have them write true or false about that statement before the lesson begins. You could also have them put a check mark or anything like that. Then you would have them read an article, or you would go through discussion or some collaborative group work. And based on that, afterward, they would think about what they said before the lesson started and if they would change their answer. So maybe they thought a statement was true, but after discussion, they would change it to false. Now, what I add at the end is a little column that says, based on today's discussion, change the wording of each false statement to make it truthful. So that kind of adds a little element. If I scroll down, I'll give you a little example of how I use this in my class. I teach AP Psychology in the south suburbs of Chicago. And one of the things I do the first day or the first 2 days of class is really assess their prior knowledge of what psychology is. A lot of my students come into class thinking that psychology is about only therapy, or that it's kind of a pseudoscience where you kind of just talk about people's feelings. So here are a couple statements that I talk about in class. Psychology is defined as the scientific study of behavior and mental processes. Now, for students, they don't really associate the word psychology and scientific. Most students think of scientific as chemistry, biology, or physics. So I have a lot of students say false there. But after discussion, they'll most likely change it to true. If I take a look at ones that you might need to change, the bottom one says psychologists use their opinions and assumptions to learn about the world. Now, that is a common idea, but that would be a false statement because psychologists use empirical data. They use the scientific method. So they would have to change that. They'd write false, and they'd have to change the wording to maybe psychologists use the scientific method or empirical data through observation. So this is an anticipation guide. I've seen it used in a lot of different disciplines, and I think it's a really effective way to let students know what they need to or how they need to change their thinking from before and after the lesson. Thank you.